Now that we have the NeoPixel extension installed, now we're going to start putting together our first program, well, our first light program. And so what we can do is go here to the NeoPixel category and go to the very top one. It says set strip to NeoPixel at pin, blah, blah, blah. So what this is, it's basically saying, all right, we're going to set this object, a variable called strip, to an object that represents NeoPixel LEDs. So basically it's saying, okay, in my memory, in kind of my computer memory, I'm going to have an object, and that object has a name. In this case, we're calling it strip. So anytime you want to work with that object, you can refer to it by name, and the name is strip. And the type of variable that it is, the kind of information it is that it is like a NeoPixel LED strip or object. And one of its properties is that it has a pin, so it has like an address that we can send the information to. This is P0 by default. I actually hooked mine up to be pin 8, P8, so I'm going to change that. And then you tell it how many LEDs are on that strip so that it makes enough spots in memory to be able to control that strip of LEDs. So I'm not going to use the whole strip of LEDs here right now. I'm just going to go ahead and put in like 200, which is going to be most of the strip, but not all of the strip. And you'll go ahead and change that later when you find out exactly how many LEDs are on your hat. Our first version of the hat, I think, had 234 LEDs. So there you go. And then we're setting it as RGB format. Well, it's RGB, so red, green, blue, in GRB format, meaning green, red, blue. And that's just a funny thing where we often operate in red, green, blue color space with computers. But for these strips, the information that they receive, they're actually going to look at it in a different order. They're going to look for green first, and then red, and then blue. But that's fine because that's the default on this. You don't have to change anything to make that work. And now I would say that for like an initial, like first time running this, just to see that our LEDs are hooked up and to do something basic, let's go ahead and just set up a startup kind of flashing of a few colors. So we'll go back to the NeoPixel category and we'll do show color here. We'll click it, bring it into our block. And I think we'll have it actually flash 3 colors. And it's actually really easy to just right click and duplicate and then put these in here. And so it's red, and then I think maybe I'll do purple next, and then I'll have it go green and call it good. But now, one thing I know from my experience with using this is that it'll actually go through these colors instantaneously, and you may not see anything at all. So we're going to go back to the basic like before and add a pause in between each of these so that it will show a color and then wait, and it'll show another color and wait, so on. Great. And then I want it to have no color when that's all done. Oh yeah, you can even see it in the emulator here. Let's go. Yep, it's really quick, but we'll see it better in person. I want it to be nothing at the end. So I'm going to take this clear block, so strip clear, and that's going to remove all the color information from the memory in the microbit. There's one issue with that though. You can see how this says show color red, show, but there's no show here. What happens is that basically there are spots in the memory of the microbit that hold onto the color information, but they don't get sent out automatically. You can change those colors in memory all you want, but then you have to call a function with show for that information to be sent to the pin, or pin 8 in our case, to change the color of the NeoPixel LEDs. And so I need to go back here, and I had clear, now I need to do show. So it's going to say clear all the color information from memory and then send this new set of color information, which is all blanks, to the LEDs, and then and do that. So let's go ahead and download this and see what it does. Okay. That's already downloaded to my downloads folder. I'll move it over to the microbit device. Copying, and there, it's done. Disconnect it. plug it into breakout board. Oh, look, that was fast. So it showed a couple colors really quickly, and now it's blinking. So that's pretty much what we planned. You'll see this one little green LED. I find that's really common with a lot of microcontrollers, especially if they're not specifically designed to work with LEDs like this. It just has to do with like a kind of funny remnant with how the nature of the signal that is sent to the pixels. And so what we're going to do later is we're just going to actually add an extra pixel to our program later. So the green one is actually invisible. It's like off the end of the actual strip of LEDs, but the program doesn't know that. So it will work just fine. So anyway, that looks good with our little startup. So that's working. And well, that's it. Why don't we we'll call this video, and next I'll show you how to put the rainbow on there.